In recent years, interest in disaster scenario solutions has grown. There is no question that the world is an increasingly dangerous place. The evening news daily features threats of riots, pandemics, economic collapse, increasingly deadly weather, international tensions, wars, and rumors of war.
Virtually every other billionaire on the planet has one. We've talked to their top-level security guys. Now ask yourself, are they crazy? Are they just cautious?
If they are crazy, why were millions of dollars spent in 2012 on a new hardened bunker beneath the White House? Why are America's wealthy said to be digging massive underground shelters? Why has the U.S. government spent billions of dollars creating a network of bunkers surrounding Washington that you will never get into?
In fact, I was once contacted by one of the top security people for the Secretary of Defense of the United States. And I said, why? You got your own shelters. He goes, look, I've escorted the Secretary to several of these deep underground shelters. And he said, the Secretary went through the blast door and went in. But he did not. He didn't have high enough security clearance. He's not on the list.
Somewhere under the Indiana farmland, 30 feet beneath packed earth, lies 10,000 square feet of nuclear-hardened comfort.
It was formerly a government Cold War shelter used for a purpose that I can't disclose. You're sitting in the middle of a fortress, an underground fortress.
It is protected from nuclear, biological, and chemical attack. It can withstand a 20 megaton blast 2 miles away. Vevo Shelters is the brainchild of Robert Vicino, a real estate entrepreneur who has created a string of private top-secret bunkers across the country.
So we're about 2 stories above the actual shelter. We're going to go down several flights of stairs. We're going to go through a blast door, and then we'll be in safe haven.
Past a 12-inch carbon steel glass door is a luxurious interior designed for 80 people to live in comfort for a full year underground.
I'm about to enter the Grand Salon.
A giant flat-screen TV and a video library complement the bunker's home theater. A central dining area allows for family-style meals or quiet 2-person dinners. A lounge area features board games, video gaming, and a quiet place to gather. Behind the scenes, it's even more impressive. With a pair of 100-kilowatt generators, a small medical center contains everything from a defibrillator to surgical supplies. There's a workshop, laundry facility, and even a kennel. membership in this exclusive Vivos bunker includes all meals for an entire year.
I think we have 60 different varieties of freeze-dried food.
From the underground mini farm.
We're standing in the garden area right now. The grow lights in here that are giving the exact right temperature and color of light for the best health for these plants.
The only problem with this shelter is getting in, and members are admitted based on their skills.
The whole concept of Vivos is that we search for people with unique skill sets. Part of our population of 80 have military, police, and security training. We also have doctors, so we have surgeons, we have an internist, we have dentists, we have a gynecologist.
Bunkers have been a successful solution to a looming threat.
People look back and laugh at the people in the Cold War of the 60s that built underground bunkers in their basements, under their driveway. Was it crazy to have those shelters then? No. Is it crazy to have those same shelters today? I don't think so.
Attention, all of humanity. This is not a test. Drop to your knees immediately and submit to your master, the government. Everything that you thought was conspiracy has just become reality. Welcome to the New World Order. Enjoy the mark of the beast, and above all else, have a wonderful day. Thank you so much for submitting, and please remember, we are always watching you. Hi, it's Lindley Oz, and wow, it's been an interesting year so far, prophetically speaking, with so many things going on, and now JADEHOLM and all the chatter on the internet about JADEHOLM, the different opinions, different theories, and different ideas. But I came across this article on the Economic Collapse blog, and this is also in the USA Today and other news websites. But it certainly is interesting and worth pondering, considering there's a lot of talk about the economy collapsing at the end of the Shemitah cycle, which is September the 13th. It says major U.S. retailers are closing more than 6,000 stores. First things first, let's look at this. It says if the U.S. economy really is improving, then why are big U.S. retailers permanently shutting down thousands of stores? The retail apocalypse that I have written about so frequently appears to be accelerating. As you will see below, major U.S. retailers have announced that they are closing more than 6,000 locations. As you can see, the number of stores that are being permanently shut down is absolutely staggering. Okay, so you can see this long list here. Okay, 180 Abercrombie and Fitch by 2015, 75 Aeropostales, American Eagle Outfitters 150, 223 Barnes and Nobles through 2023, the Body Shop, Body Central 265. I mean, you can see all of these. Children's Place through 2017, Christopher and Banks, Coach, Dollar Tree. I mean, the list just goes on and on. JCPenney, 40 stores. Pep Boys in the coming years. Target, Canada, bankruptcy. Well, we've heard about the Targets that are closing to do with Maple Resolve, Canada's version of JADEHOLM.
Maple Resolve popping off tomorrow, here within 24 hours. Huge drill with different nations, the the UK is involved with the US, thousands of troops, and it was said to start with more troops than JADEHOLM, like quadruple the amount. Now we can see that, Walmart is blacking out the windows. They have police guarding the perimeter, the entrances. They're putting walls of shelving up so no one can see what's going on. They haven't even sought the permits to do what they said they're going to do. And other places, other Walmarts that's had extensive plumbing work done, never shut down. Never shut down. Red flags everywhere. So my thing is this. You have Target shutting down en masse across Canada. They're coming through and they're giving an excuse that, lack of business, and they put 17,000 people out of work. 17,000 individuals out of work here. And these guys put a video together about it, and it went viral. It's got a couple 100,000 views, but they closed early. And you can see this has been updated here. It was set to close down in May, but now, and this article is from March, all 133 locations are closed. 133. That's a lot of facilities. And what's important about this is that a majority of these 133 stores were absolutely huge. You're talking 130, 150,000 square feet, something like that. They were huge by their own admission. And yes, the name Target, everyone's like, of all names, Target, not trying to rescue people in some kind of disaster. No, that wasn't what was going down. So there was a complete different agenda behind some of these drills that have been labeled as one thing, but when you get down there and you look, they're doing something else. This is involving DHS, FBI. The FBI is going to be questioning people at airports coming up, and that's a big thing. And there are real deal known networks of underground tunnels and facilities laid out there. Why would they not be adding left and right in key spots, having to add them in? I believe this is a very good possibility, especially here in the United States, knowing the background and knowing that they have massive tunnels going all over the place. But 133 stores with combined millions of square footage. Keep an eye open. Watch these targets for real. And we're in this together. Any suspicious activity at any of these Target stores, Sam's Club, Walmart, care what it is, if it looks like it's a move against the people, we the people need to know.
Are you serious? Are you serious? What have we learned from the CERN? Well, that's right, the CERN. Over there near Geneva, Switzerland, researchers working on the CERN in Switzerland have detected a never-before-seen subatomic process that was harder to find than the famous Higgs particle. And it could make or break our understanding, folks, of the universe. Are you serious? Now, by combining the results of the two separate experiments at the Large Hadron Collider, let's call it the LHC, the researchers were able to detect an extremely rare decay of a particle called the strange B, meson, into two muons, something that the standard model of particle physics predicts will only occur about 4 times out of a billion, which is pretty much what the experiments have found. Folks, what they're saying is they found a particle decaying for the first time so rare that it's as rare as the formation of the universe itself. They're saying they can create the God particle. They're saying they are God. just in time for the New World Order, just in time for the spirit of the Illuminati, just in time for the rise of the beast, the Antichrist, the false prophet, and the lying signs and wonders. You better understand. You better get ready and understand what I'm telling you. Something biblical's going on here with the signs of the second coming of Christ. We're truly running out of time. Are you saved?
Have Americans reached a breaking point with JADEHOLM 15? Local media is reporting that citizens of Big Spring, Texas have seen helicopters and tanks moving into their town. This comes just a month after Thomas Meade spoke to the Big Spring City Council asking for their invitation. And following the 30-minute presentation on JADEHOLM, resident Kimberly York had the courage to confront them with some pretty tough comments and questions.
You know, I mean, what the press is putting out is really different than what we're seeing here today. You know, the press is telling us, oh, you're not going to hear about it, you're not going to see it, you know, it's just not going to affect your lives. There's safeties for civilians. Why are we looking at safety issues if there's nothing to see here right now?
And that, my friends, is the value being placed upon you, opening up your homes, your properties, your businesses, and your streets to this military exercise. Now, this guy certainly doesn't mind as long as his Walmart doesn't close and he doesn't miss the next rerun of How I Met Your Mother. Yes, you heard him correctly. He said clandestine activities will be taking place. Aircraft at night carrying weapons, and that the local population will certainly be startled. Now, this means 911 call centers will be dealing with higher than normal call volumes, forcing the police to interface with the military and then the public, leaving other crimes going, well, not getting the attention that they deserve. He did confirm that they will be carrying weapons, mostly wearing civilian clothing, as well as driving civilian vehicles, and they will not be using explosives. What's curious about the drill is that even though they claim the soldiers will go unnoticed, they intend to have a medic within each unit, as well as fire safety gear, and local law enforcement will be in direct communication with the Department of Defense. So we know now by this admission that they will be ready for any casualties that arise from the event, and that local law enforcement will be conditioned to interface with the DoD. Now, Meade stated that some of the soldiers will in large part be undetectable despite one specific item of clothing.
The first brown shirts with their swastika armbands stride arrogantly into the meeting.
That, for us, that's one of the big things. We make sure that all of our guys have some type of marking that they'll all be wearing an armband with a marking that identifies them as part of the exercise.
So there you have it. In a nutshell, U.S. military coordinating with local law enforcement and elements of the willing public. They'll be conducting clandestine activities, carrying weapons under aircraft cover at night, wearing armbands with a special insignia for 2 months across 10 states. This is by far the greatest public conditioning exercise in American history. This, as the world watches Cheyenne Mountain reopening in anticipation of an EMP attack and key operations of the New York Federal Reserve moving to Chicago in the event of a natural disaster.
Violence on the screen has gone too far for me. I'm fed up with it. Filmmakers like George Romero and John Carpenter have to show some restraint. Violence on the screen has gone too far for me.
We're talking to you about things that control you, not necessarily through conversation or the auditory vector, but through the eyes. And then the ears second, but it's the eyes that tend to lead you. Although music is quite compelling in its own cadences as well. It's an all fronts assault on you to disarm you and make you amenable to all kinds of input, which they design ever so carefully. Nothing is really left to chance. Stephen, please go ahead.
Regarding children and television, prior to the advent of TV, you never heard about attention deficit disorder.
Didn't exist. Nope.
And what's happening here is that the quick cutting patterns that were developed in TV commercials and music videos, they cause a corresponding chemical electrical impulse in the brain. And that releases endorphins that have a drug-like effect on the body. So a child can sit motionless, fixated, watching television, and when they're away from the television, they have all this nervous energy, can't focus their attention, can't sit still, and that's because they're looking for the same kind of drug-like effect that they're getting from TV and other kinds of activities, and they're not getting it. Another illustration of this plug-in effect that television has with our nervous system, because we've already been changed as a population by illustration of hypnotic programming.
Did.
And the quality of our thinking has to change. We haven't been taught how to think. We've been taught what to think. And God forbid that we learn how to think, because that's what these guys are afraid of. There are more of us than there are of them, and the only way they can control and manipulate the large masses is through illusion and deception.
And
it's like the Wizard of Oz behind the curtain.
Exactly. And the cultivation of this anxiety and fear is astoundingly profitable. Look at the psychopharmacological maniacs at work coming up with these fluoride-based drugs, SSRIs, all kinds of psychotropic medications, which literally, if the television and the lifestyle and the peer pressure and the media and the self-absorption and the narcissism of the physical body doesn't do it, these drugs will. And they'll seal the individual permanently into a crypt of morose behavior and absolute obedience to a paradigm that is antithetical to human life as it used to be.
For the things like this, a surveillance video where you can see the train rushing past just about 200 yards short of where the accident occurred. You can calculate from this that the train is going faster than it ought to be by comparing it to fixed points along the track.
That camera captured in the dark at about 9:23 and 40 seconds, captured the train flying by. I want to show you that video now so that you can see at the very top of your screen. You should be able to see it. Looks like kind of a white light, and it's going full on. And then a few seconds later, you will see the flashes, one after the other, after the other, after the other, and that is the moment of impact.
This is a mega news flash. On this bill, there's this blue stripe. It's a hologram. What it is, it's, if I move it around, it's the Liberty Bell. It's the Liberty Bell, and it's ringing. And if you move a hologram, the hologram moves. So if there was a clanger in there, and it's going like this, what would it be doing? It would be going ding, 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 ding. They are sounding their alarm. This bill is a vehicle to distribute their plans. That's what they're doing. These are their plans. They are sounding their alarm. This bill is a vehicle to distribute their plans. That's what they're doing. These are their plans. They are sounding their alarm. This bill is a vehicle to distribute their plans. That's what they're doing. These are their plans. To nuke the United States. It's Satan's plan, by the way, Satan and the fallen angels. But we have members of our government who have been taken over by demonic spirits. and they're part of this. There it is. This blue line, it also represents a water event, and it's the bell ringing. They're ringing the bell. It's the Liberty Bell, and it's ringing.
The alarm bells keep ringing.
Proclaim liberty throughout all the land, unto all the inhabitants thereof. Leviticus 25:10, the Jubilee verse given to Moses on Mount Sinai, and cast into America's Liberty Bell. The Jubilee verse, Leviticus 25:10, announces freedom every 50 years, freeing the slaves, returning the land. This message was preached. 50 years later, America is again in great darkness. Abortion and perversion have swept over our land. Leaders we do not know lead us to a place we do not want to go.
Weather will continue.
Until September 22nd, midday. Until September 22nd, midday. And if the ark isn't finished by then, you will be. And if the ark isn't finished by then, you will be.
Is that when it's going to happen? September 22nd, midday? Everyone on the ark now! I think we should get on the ark.
Ladies first! Woo!
Get everyone on the ark now! Get on the ark now! Let's go! Get on the ark! Let's go!
Watch for it. It's coming, okay? You need to be building your ark. You need to be constructing your ark. I don't mean building a literal plank wall of wood. No, that's not what this is about. It's about building up who you are in Christ Jesus the Lord. It's about lighting your oil. It's about getting spiritually ready. It's about getting rid of strongholds. That's what building the ark means. Okay, that's what we need to be doing as a bride. We need to be in submission before Christ. We need to be ready for his coming.
To the angel of the church in Philadelphia write, these are the words of him who is holy and true, who holds the key of David. What he opens, no one can shut, and what he shuts, no one can open. I know your deeds. See, I have placed before you an open door that no one can shut. I know that you have little strength, yet you have kept my word and have not denied my name. I will make those who are of the synagogue of Satan, who claim to be Jews, though they are not, but are liars. I will make them come and fall down at your feet and acknowledge that I have loved you. Since you have kept my command to endure patiently, I will also keep you from the hour of trial that is going to come on the whole world to test the inhabitants of the earth. I am coming soon. Hold on to what you have.
Yes. I am coming soon. May the grace of the Lord be with all God's people.
But amid the wreckage, a symbol of hope for one resident, Chase Rhodes, tweeting, "Just found this after the tornado. God is with us."